Hi guys and welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing the Andoer tripod, and this was kindly sent out to us by the company. We've had it for a couple of weeks now, we've been trying it out, and we're going to try and give you our best thoughts on this tripod. So I would suggest this is sort of for someone who's beginner to intermediate level. If you are just starting out with YouTube and you just want something to hold your camera, you probably don't want something as big as this. This isn't particularly portable. The first thing I will say is this thing can get up to about 1.7, 1.8 meters tall. I will leave all of the details of the exact specifications in the description, obviously the link to where you can buy this, but it's really not a good tripod for portability. That being said, if you are using it in situations where, for example, you've got lots of wind, or you need a really sturdy tripod if you're doing, for example, night photography, it's quite a good tripod for that. This tripod has 3 adjustable legs around it. You can increase the size and obviously decrease the size. You can also increase the base size as well, depending on how much room you've got around you. It's quite easy to set up. All you need to do is when you just adjust the little screws on the side, you can really quickly set it up to maximum height. The thing I like about this tripod is there aren't like 3 fixed levels. You can have it at any height you want. You can set it up and it will be taller than a person standing. So if we just start from the top of the tripod and work our way down, the top is really where this tripod sells itself. The main thing is you've got the glider at the top, which means if you are filming product reviews, if you are filming anything where you have got a product in front of you or an item that you want to get nice B-roll of, this is a really good tripod for you because you can get those really smooth, steady shots as the camera pans past. Now, it's not quite what you would get if you had a slider, but you can get those sort of passing shots going up and down. Okay, so when you look at the top of this tripod, the mount it has is very different to what you have on smaller tripods. For example, the Manfrotto one that I'm using at the moment to film this video has a very small square mount. Now this can obviously take much heavier cameras, and you have a mount that is this sort of size. If you compare it to the size of my hand, basically it just clips in the top and you can just mount any camera you want on there. And it comes with 2 adjustable screws for different screw sizes for the cameras. Most DSLRs you'll use this screw size that we're using at the moment. It's a very small one, but it does also have a larger one that you can take out as well, and there's a little handy pop out thing and you can just slide it out. One of the best things about this is you can, once you've got this attached onto the camera, and let's say you had a few cameras, what you can do is you can get more of these, attach them onto your equipment, and you can literally switch over your camera gear like that. It's a lot quicker than having to unscrew it each time. You can just quickly put them in and take them out if you need to film things quickly. So this camera does pack down fairly tightly. It comes with a carrying case, but when you look at the video you can see the fact that it has a handle that you use to turn the gimbal on the top. That handle does unscrew, so you can then pack it down even smaller. So if we work our way down, you then have the dial on the left that has a turn on it, and that basically means you can adjust the sort of strength of the tilt. So you can have it tighter, which means it's going to be a lot harder to tilt, or you can have it looser, which means it sort of springs back quite easily. It's kind of like on a spring-loaded system, so if you pull it down and let go of it, it will sort of bring itself up depending on how tight you have that screw. I like to have it pretty tight, which then means I have full control over whether it moves, and it just makes it that much smoother. So you have the same sort of thing on the bottom where you go left and right. You have a screw that adjusts how tight it is, so you can then increase or decrease the speed and how well it glides. So the screw on the bottom you can completely tighten up, which will lock it so it won't go side to side, which means when you're getting those up and down shots, you can very quite clearly make sure that there is no left and right move. Equally, you can tighten and adjust the left and right. I find if you just loosen it just beyond the completely locked, that is usually a fairly good place to go left and right. If you have it too tight, it does sort of jitter every now and again and make a horrible scraping noise. But most of the time it works perfectly well. Okay, so one of the final things I really like about this is I'm pretty sure you can buy different attachments from Andoer company as well, which will you can put onto the top of the tripod. One thing I'm pretty sure they sell is a slider. I will try and contact them, see if we can get hold of one of those to review as well. But the idea is you can take off the top and you can put on a slider as well, which is one of those ones where you place your camera in the middle and you can get those left and right shots of products, which also looks really cool as well. So this tripod is a nice stand for any attachment you want to put on the top. It's very sturdy, very strong, and so far the build quality I'm really quite impressed with. Now, although this does tighten up with plastic screws, you've got plastic on the sides as well, but mostly it is a complete metal body, which is why this thing weighs so much. Okay, so one of the final things I really like about this tripod is it comes built in with a spirit level. So if you are, let's say, on a hill, you can really make sure that all of your photos are completely horizontal. Now, I know some cameras do have a spirit level on them, so you can kind of tell if your photo is straight or not. However, with this tripod, you don't have that sort of ball and socket joint on the top like you do on lots of other tripods that are a lot cheaper and not as steady as these ones, which means it's actually quite hard to to make sure it's completely level if you're on a hill. Now the way you do straighten it is obviously you just lengthen the lengths respectively depending on how much like it is tilting, but you can really just adjust it quite finely if you use the spirit levels. You can make sure it's perfectly horizontal, so when you're filming that shot everything is perfectly flat. Finally, the one last thing that I'm kind of worried about with this tripod is the base is all held together by a sort of star-shaped plastic grid which holds all three legs together. Now this will obviously lift up and down as it closes or opens. The only issue I've got is how long is that going to last. If you drop something on it, if you drop the tripod, there is a possibility that those plastic legs could break. Although it does seem like pretty strong, that is probably the weak point of this tripod. So like I said at the beginning of this video, this tripod is probably for those of you who have a studio, or for those of you who are intermediate photographers who want to basically move into videography or something where you are filming products, which is really where you need the glide head which films left and right. It comes in a lot cheaper I think than most Manfrotto tripods. I haven't actually had any chance to review any Manfrotto tripods. This tripod does definitely do the job perfectly fine. I haven't had any problems with it yet. I've been using it for a couple of weeks and will probably be using it for all future videos now. So any product reviews you see with any glide shots will be using this tripod. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave all the links down below in the description. Make sure you go and check out their products. Once again, thank you so much for sending out this to review, and we'll probably have some more reviews coming up in the next few weeks. We've got a nice camera bag that we need to review as well, so that will be up on the channel in a few weeks as well. If you did enjoy this video, put a thumbs up. We'll see you in the next one. Live long and prosper.